Hello beauties! So I filmed earlier some haul videos and some subscription box things, and then William woke up while I was filming this video, and that's actually kind of a good thing because I was getting frustrated in how to answer this question correctly. So what I want to start doing is answering some of these questions regarding foster care that you guys have asked me. You guys have posed really great questions and concerns and stuff, and I want to address them, and I'm going to kind of do them one at a time and probably post these videos regarding fostering on Fridays. That's kind of my goal. The first one that I want to touch on, when I first read the comment, I gotta admit, I was like a little offended. I was a little offended. And then I saw it a couple more times, and I'm hoping that I was just, like, sometimes when you read something, you read it through your filter and not in the way that the person intended it. So I'm going to just assume that the person really was wondering, honestly, why foster when you can adopt? So I want to answer that question kind of on two levels. Why we are fostering and not pursuing adoption, and then just in general, why foster when you can adopt. Let me close my door real quick, and then we can get into this heavy topic. So the question is, why foster when you can adopt? Personally, for us, we actually have in the past considered fostering to adopt. When we went to the training, I'll let you know that there's basically three tracks, three different classifications that you fall into. One, you are trying to become certified in foster parenting because you are currently taking care of, or you're going to be taking care of, a biological relative. So you are a family member that, you know, they were taken away from, like, I don't know, your sister or your cousin or something, and their child is going to come live with you, and so you need to be certified as a foster parent. That's one track. And then the other track is foster to adopt. So you're going to foster, and you are hoping to foster children that look like they're going to be available for adoption, and so that is your ultimate goal. You're going to foster with the hopes to adopt. And then the third one is general foster, where you're certified to foster, but your goal is not necessarily to adopt. You just want to foster children that don't have a biological relative to go live with, and so they need to have, like, just a foster home to live with while their biological parents are sorting the stuff out. Okay? Okay. So Chris and I fell into the third category of general fostering, but like I said, in the past we have considered doing fostering to adopt. That was back when we were trying to conceive Hannah. For those of you that weren't following our channel back then, Chris and I got married in August, and in January, so just like 4 months later, we were diagnosed with infertility and we started treatment. And we did not conceive until Christmas Eve. So we spent our entire first year plus of married life trying to get pregnant. And that's because we had already dated for 6 years, so we were ready. So right around October, we started losing faith that we were gonna be able to conceive naturally, because here we were taking all of these fertility meds, we were doing back-to-back-to-back cycles, and I wasn't responding, or we weren't conceiving. And it was really frustrating, really hard, and so we began to look at other ways to grow our family. We looked at international adoption from, like, orphanages. We thought that that would be like a great way to grow our family, but financially it was just crazy expensive. And then domestic adoption, for some reason, never really spoke to us. I don't know why, but it just never really did. And instead I found out about fostering to adopt. I never really knew that that was an option, or that was a thing that you could adopt through foster care, and not only was it, like, very low cost, but it was, you know, children in your community, and so it just seemed like a really great option for us. So this was right around Thanksgiving that we found out about this, and Chris and I talked about it, and we were like, you know what, let's just get through the holidays. Let's get through the holidays, kind of let everything settle down, we can reevaluate in January. And then, as most of you know, we got pregnant at Christmas. So it really put the fostering on the back burner because we were so focused on this pregnancy. So that's a little bit of the backstory. So I know that this is, like, kind of sudden to some of you, but for us this is a long time coming. So the reason that we are pursuing fostering right now instead of fostering to adopt is because back when we were trying to conceive Hannah and we didn't have any biological children, we wanted to be parents. And we were not Okay, I want to say this and not sound insensitive. I want you to kind of hear the heart of it, and I might fumble the words a little bit, but back when we were trying to conceive Hannah and we considered fostering to adopt, we were not looking at fostering to adopt as a way to serve the children and to do what was in the best interest of the children. We were doing it because we wanted to grow our family. We wanted to be parents so badly, and we were just looking for any way to grow our family, and I think that that's a perfectly reasonable way to feel, especially after, you know, almost a year of fertility treatments. It's rough and you just want to be a parent. And I think that at that time, if we had gotten a placement and the adoption had fallen through, it would have absolutely gutted me. It would have been really horrible. Or if we had a placement and it turns out we weren't able to adopt them, it would have been so hard on us because we were going into it to be parents and not to serve the child. Does that make sense? Now, the way that we are looking at it is not, you know, we want to foster a child because we want to grow our family necessarily. We're not against adoption by any means, and if for the right placement and the absolute right situation, it's something that we would be very open to. But right now, the reason why we are fostering and not adopting is because there is a real need in our community for foster homes for toddlers. It's very easy to place babies and school-age children here. The age groups that they have a hard time placing are toddlers and teenagers. Now right now with Chris and I and Hannah's age and William being so young, school-age children are a little out of our wheelhouse. It's not something that I'm super familiar with, or it's not what we're looking to pursue, and teenagers just are not a good fit for our family right now. But toddlers, which there is a real need for homes that can care for toddlers, that's a perfect fit for us. Our house is completely set up for babies and toddlers right now. It's just kind of what we live. Our life revolves around toddlers and preschoolers. It just does. So that really works for us, and we are open to sibling groups because it's very important. We see how bonded Hannah and William are, and it's just something that we feel very strongly about, that siblings should stay together when possible. So for smaller sibling sets, like 2 and maybe 3 if the ages work out right, we're open to having small sibling groups in our house. The reason that we are fostering right now and not necessarily looking to adopt is because we want to be of service to children in our community. The thing is that not all children are going to be taken away from their parents permanently. There is a system in place, there are services in place to help get these parents, you know, back on their feet or in safe homes, in a safe situation. And the ultimate goal of DHS is to reunite children with their biological parents. That's what the system is aiming for, is to keep families together. And so not every child is going to be able to be adopted. You know, most of the time the ultimate goal is to reunite them back with the mom or the father. And so there needs to be families in the community that want to just provide safe, loving homes for these children in the interim. They just need to be like the middle mom. And that is what I feel like we can absolutely do right now. We have more than enough room and love in our home, and we want to be of service, and we want to support these children through a very traumatic and difficult time. We want to do this to support not only the child, but also these birth parents, and we want to see that happily ever after for that child, be it reunited back with their parents or with a family member, adopted, or even to stay with us. But ultimately, we are in it for the best interest of the child, and we want to just help them as much as possible. Now, I know some of you have said, I think this is great and we've thought about it, but I just can't imagine the heartbreak of, you know, having to say goodbye. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. You love these children. If you're in it for the right reasons and you're doing it the right way, then you love these children like they're your own, because that's what they need. They need love and support and guidance, and they need you to be invested in them. And it hurts, absolutely. But I'm more concerned with what would happen to these kids if no one was willing to step up and grieve them and love them, and that's something that I'm willing to do. So that's it. That's kind of the roundabout answer to your question. I hope you understand where I'm coming from and what I mean, and that ultimately I think that adoption is a wonderful, beautiful thing, but I also think that fostering can be a wonderful service to the children in your community, and that if you have the heart for it and the mission for it, and like that's something that you really want to do, I think it's wonderful as well. So if you have any questions about fostering, anything, feel free. You can either ask it down in a comment below, you can send me a private message, or you can send me an email, or find me on Facebook. Feel free to ask your questions, and I will answer them as I can. Remember, I'm going to try to do fostering videos on Fridays. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye. My life is better for them being in it, and hopefully their life is better for me being in their life. And that in a moment that was so pivotal and defining and scary in their life, I just hope that I was able to bring a little peace and calm and love to that situation.